Hi, tell us your name.
Hello, my name is Adi Wexler. I'm 21 from Israel.
And which part of Israel are you from?
I'm in the north, but now I live in a town called Rishon LeZion.
Real quickly, I think that people would like to talk about the Palestinian situation. I was speaking to you about it earlier.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, being from Israel?
Well, it's more complicated than it sounds to everybody all the time. And I usually talked about, well, I don't have a problem with any person like with the Palestine. I have a problem with terrorists, and everybody really understand this.
So what do you do there in Israel?
Well, I live in a culture movement. This is an artist community that lives together, and what is connected us that we want to change the culture in Israel and will make people think they're own people in their own way and have like Israeli culture.
So what's the difference? I mean, what are the fundamental changes that you're really hoping to accomplish there?
Well, first of all, we're saying culture to everybody. So we're with teenagers and with the community and gives our techniques of art and talk to them about social subjects and then make them do their own art with their own opinion. And this is the way you change the culture. And we believe that this is the way to be like more I don't know, good people with their own opinion, and they will know about others' opinions because they will be the same language.
Exactly. Yeah, our art is such a powerful medium to work in because it's archetypal. It speaks to our spirit.
Yeah,
in essence.
we're teaching a new language that you can express yourself. We think the most powerful way, and I don't know, to see other stuff, to meet other people, to learn about them, and I believe this is the way to peace and quiet and interesting life. Like it's your own way, and everybody has their own character. You call this?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're really grounded in wanting to help others.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that so important?
Well, I believe when you help others, you help yourself. Like they will help others, they will help you, they will think about you. Like we talked about social things, about poorness and ways how money works and how it impacts people, and it makes people to understand what is the impact of like the boss or the poorness, because they start thinking about this, and then when they will meet someone, they will change the reality better for you.
It grows. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anything that you want to add? What do you think about America?
Well, first of all, this is the first time of me in like a really long trail to America, and like I have like people from my family that lives here. Usually, what we hear about America, like there are friends, we are together, so. I love America, and it was really interesting to me to be here and hear more about what's happening here and what people think.
How do you feel the political situation here in America affects you at home in Israel? You think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I don't know to say good or bad because there is like a lot of both of them. I wish that we won't be in like a situation that it really affects us, how people think, because everybody, I don't know, it's like a calm country and it's really not matter.
Because we see a lot of stuff in the media over here and you get a lot of different opinions about this whole issue, and of course you're from there. Yes. And so it's very difficult for an American or anyone for that matter to relate to a situation where you have an ongoing wartime situation where you're in some areas you're scared of getting basically bombed. I mean, you're talking about terrorism and stuff.
Actually, in Israel, I feel safer
than
here. Yes.
And why?
Why? Because like in Israel, everybody has his turn in the army to give. This is your time. I'm protecting everybody else. I care really with my body, with my soul, everything for 3 years, and I know when I will finish this. I just finished my army, and well, another guy or a girl are protecting me. I see soldiers and I'm relaxing. I don't think that people has weapons in their bags because I have soldiers.
All right. I think that that's pretty cool because there's a lot of people in America who yearn for that. And so trying to find peace in that mindset is sometimes difficult.
It's really difficult, and a lot of people take this, it's black or white. And like, I think the most important thing it's to not be black or white, like extreme. And I'm trying to talk about this with teenagers, like how are they feeling when we have a situation. Most of the time, no. Last year there was, and it was really difficult to me too. I lost people.
I'm sorry to hear that. You know, that's very difficult. Yeah, and so there's something like that. You know, we saw a story here in America where we saw Israelis sitting on top of a ridge, and they were watching the bombs going into Palestine and applauding this and looking at that. And we see things in the media that are fake today also. And so, had you heard anything about that?
You know,
what would you say about that? Because it's not
yes, I have what to tell about this.
Okay.
I think that when you're a child, you're a teenager and really young, you don't have really nobody to talk about this in this situation. It's difficult. It's really difficult because you can take no sides. Like, how can I say something bad when people are protecting me, or like I have emotion for this? And you know, it's hard to, nobody can explain. Everybody experience this another way reacting. There are people that will be talked and be sad. There were people that will, well, I hate them, and of course you just hate, and well, it makes you feel you need to react in some way. And I'm trying to give away, like, it's alternative way, by art, like by theater, with training that makes you get out your emotions. And when you don't, this is not a really good situation.
That's right. And so you have a lot to draw from, having real experiences about that. In your view, how do we come together as a people on this planet and actually find peace?
Well, the first thing that I'll say is to meet. Like, when I came here to America, I met someone that is Muslim from Turkey, and then I remember that there's the Ramadan months, and I don't know from what they taught us in school, and I asked him, do you have something to eat at night right now? Or because he was keeping on some parking lot, and I worry if he has something to eat or drink. And then he told me, really, thank you, I'm okay. Where are you from? Israel. Ugh. First time I saw someone that say, Israel, ooh, I don't want to be close to, and I was like, because I'm Jewish. And he told me, well,
what does that mean to you to be Jewish?
Well, it means to me history and something that has a lot of beautiful stuff. We have like a big story together. I love this. What I have difficult with is people are afraid of this, so they make rules and ways to protect these things to not disappear, and not just trust that is a part of us, and we need to just live this, not to make these rules and what's wrong and what's not. It's like we have a big story. Let's keep talking about this and make our own ways.
So
to
when
remember.
so do we perpetuate a cycle of judgment? Would it be atypical? Would it not be normal for a Jewish person or a Christian person to look at somebody like that, and they're from, Pakistan, they're from Iran, they're from Iraq? A lot of times those people will have a stigma against them. So as a Jew, how do you look back on somebody from another faith?
Wait, how do I look?
How do you look at people from
Christian?
another religion? Yeah, what difference does it make? Can we find peace when we do that?
Actually, it's really fun to talk about this when it comes, because it's like very similar. The stories we all came from, like every religion has like something that is really, I don't know, connect sometimes.
Absolutely.
But people are so afraid to lose themselves that they are just afraid and protecting and not trying to. When you're afraid that something will gone, you don't try to, I don't know, make this in a risk.
Right.
When you're afraid of this, everything is a risk, and I have to protect this and not make this open. And this is switch back that Israelis need to do. It's a part of us to be like convincing this and to separate this type to all of our field.
Wow. You know, part of the project that I'm working on here is to help break down the walls between racial and religious, you know, identities that we have, and just look at each other as people and try to think down the road maybe 10, 20, 30 years, because at the way we're going, we better loosen up and have some forgiveness for one another, in my opinion. You know, how powerful is forgiveness to you?
Forgiveness is something that I'm learning to do. I grow up, and then forgiveness means more to me while I growing up. Because you are let yourself make a new paint and new paper, you call this?
Yeah,
New start?
you could say that. That's interesting. I'm running out of time on this thing. Is that just, you know, I can edit this, so anything that you want to say, add, like we can do more later, but that was great so far. I loved everything that you had to say. What would you say to anybody out there about helping other people, if you could just say one thing?
Be kind. It makes you to the right way for yourself. It's coming back. It's big, like waves.
And is that the only reason that we want to help others? Is just so we may help? I mean, what is the difference between a selfless act and an unselfish act? I mean, what does it mean to be truly selfless?
I think when you say to myself, you don't mean to yourself. Like when you're going to that point that you can't to myself, and everybody will know that it's when you say yourself, you include a lot of people in this.
That makes sense. Interesting. Okay.